We are now happy to be joined by Fairfield men's lacrosse goalie Colin Consoli. Colin, thank you for coming on the show today, man.
Evan, no problem. Appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Of course. So, we're just going to get right into it. So, back to the beginning a little bit.
Yeah.
So what how did lacrosse start for you? What drew you to that sport and ultimately what ended up with you falling in love with lacrosse?
Yeah. So I played everything when I was little. I played basketball, soccer, lacrosse, and I kind of picked lacrosse because I really fell in love with it because my older brother Thomas played it, and I kind of learned from him being around it a lot. I played soccer goalie when I was little. I was big into soccer. But I really, really started loving lacrosse when I started playing goalie in 7th grade. Um, it was like everything I've ever wanted. It was pretty fun. I got to scream at kids. I got pelted with balls. It was a mixture of everything. But yeah, the rest is history. I stepped on it from there, and it's been awesome ever since.
No doubt. So, going back to high school a little bit, you originally committed to Mount St. Mary's. Then later in high school, you ended up decommitting, committing to Fairfield. Tell me a little bit about what went into that decision for you, and ultimately why you ended up settling on Fairfield.
Yeah, I think it was a mixture of different things. I think I know it was only probably a year, but I was still young when I decided to go to Mount St. Mary's. I don't regret making that decision. I think it was just what was best for me at the time. Kind of play developed, and I started playing more tournaments and got in front of more coaches. And Fairfield gave me a call. They got a new coach from Yale, Coach Baxter. He has won a national championship, so I definitely liked what he preached as a coach. And it was closer to home, the school. Academics were awesome, so I really kind of fell in love with that, and I'm couldn't be more glad I made that decision.
No doubt, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So going back to last season a little bit, so you're an inbound sophomore,
Mm-hmm.
going to be starting your sophomore season. So you were selected to the conference all rookie team last year. Talk to me about last season, what it was like for you as, a young goalie in the conference and, some of the success you saw, some of the, some of the hard times throughout the season, every season, a lot of ups and downs.
Yeah.
Just tell me about your experience last year.
Yeah, I think last year was definitely like a crazy season. I mean, the whole world was flipped upside down within couple days. School was definitely like tough. COVID was definitely tough. You had to wear masks in the weight room. You had to wear masks in the locker room. You didn't see smiles on each other's faces. But I think the season was like everything I wanted, just because it was like, you work so hard to get up to Division I lacrosse and get to that point. And finally, when I got there, I was like, holy crap, I'm here. It's like everything I've ever wanted. I think my success. I mean, there's always room for improvement, but I think I found easy. I got pretty settled down quickly to the speed of the game. It's a lot faster from high school to college. Everyone's bigger, faster, stronger, and no one cares if you get hit in the arm, if you get pushed over. Like, they're just blowing through you like it's the next man mentality. And I think that was definitely the biggest thing to me, was the speed of the game. But I was lucky to figure it out quickly and get used to it, and I adjusted to it pretty well. And yeah, I think that's probably where my success really came from.
Gotcha. So, last year, going into the season, first off, did you set any goals for yourself for the season, and then we'll start there.
Yeah,
Tell me,
yeah.
last year, did you set any goals for yourself?
I don't. I think like I wasn't like official goals, but I always had my mindset. I know it sounds corny, but it just get better every day. It's not. I knew it wasn't going to be an easy road. I knew it was going to be something that I really had to work out every day, and that was my goal, is just like take it as it comes. There's going to be bumps in the road. There's going to be, people are going to say stuff. People are going to, not trust you, not do this. But I think it was just trust yourself and just get better every day.
Totally. So, on that note, going forward throughout the rest of your not only college career but whole lacrosse career as a whole, what goals do you have in mind for yourself?
I think like kind of what I had last year, just keep getting better every day. I think there's nothing really like set goals, because anything happens at any time. But I think keep being a good leader and like care about your teammates and stuff is really important to me. So I hope like I do that as I get older. Now I'm a sophomore, so there's a class underneath me, so I kind of want to show them the way. But I think if you do that and be a great teammate, like I know it sounds corny again, but like success is going to come with the team and with your play. So I think that's kind of what I'm trying to work at.
Yeah, no doubt. So lacrosse as a sport, it's not necessarily the most mainstream sport. It's not, on TV every day. Um, tell me a little bit about maybe why you think that is, why you think it deserves more attention. What's so great about it, and tell me a little bit about, why you think
Yeah,
lacrosse deserves to be more in the spotlight.
I think lacrosse, like everyone says, it's always a growing sport. The Native Americans created it, but like it really hasn't gone to the college level like a lot until like the last 20 years. Really, it's kind of picked up, televised games, and more people are starting to see it and see how like awesome the sport is. It's really a mixture of, I always say it's like a mixture of a ton of different sports, like basketball with like the picks, hockey with like, scoring on a net, like football with the hitting. It's just like a mixture of everything. I think people like the more and more they watch it, and the more, the PLL is starting now, it's more mainstreamed, and they're getting on Instagram and stuff, and social media's through the roof. ESPN's broadcasting more games. I think that people are starting to be able to see like, it's a great sport. It's up and down. Like, yeah, I just think it's awesome.
Do you have, is it one of the goals that you have is that do you want to play? Would you like to play professional lacrosse if that opportunity ever came around?
Yeah, I haven't really thought about that. I don't really,
Yeah.
it's still kind of up and growing, and I'm kind of just more focused on what's happening now. I think, school's always most important, but
Let's go.
I think,
Student athlete.
student athlete, that's it. But I think just worrying about school right now and sports and Fairfield, and just whatever happens. So.
Gotcha. So, tell me a little bit about last year, a day in the life during the season for you, as an athlete, on campus. What did a day look like for you? With, being a student athlete, very demanding,
Yeah.
a lot of stuff going on, games, traveling, all that. Tell me a little bit about, your
Yeah,
day.
so in the fall, I'll give you the fall quick. Fall was kind of choppy, but usually we do practice 4 days a week. We have off one day. We lift all 4 days that we're practicing. That's from 7 to 10 in the morning. So you get up, do that, lift after, and then go eat whatever. You got classes all day. I got a couple classes at nighttime. So I mean, like, that's busy, but I mean, like, you just kind of schedule yourself out and block time out, and you'll kind of figure it out as time goes on. The spring is a little bit more strategic in the sense of like you're practicing almost every day. You have like one day off, but you're practicing like almost 6 days a week. You're not lifting as much just because the toll on the body, like you're going harder in practice and you're playing games. But it's definitely, same thing. Practice is very it takes a big toll on your body. And you still got to worry about school. So you got classes in between everything and lift and eating. But I always said, like, I've kind of figured out like a good schedule. So I think the schedule definitely helped. And then the spring's definitely a little bit more, time consuming. It's like, a lot more practices. You're traveling, getting prepared for games, a lot of scouts. It's pretty cool kind of, being here now, and you'd be able to scout teams, and you watch a lot of film, and you have very like detailed scouting reports on who you're playing and stuff. It's definitely different than high school, but I mean it's really fun. Traveling is awesome. We didn't travel as much on hotels this past year just because of COVID, but we did twice, I think, and it was pretty cool because we got to you hop on the bus and everyone's wearing the same jumpsuits, and you get fed, and you have team dinners, and you're with like your teammates, and it's awesome. It's just fun stuff. It's what you're there for.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So kind of going back to last season, what, the games and stuff like that, tell me a little bit about how last season, how you felt about it, and, where the team can make a jump coming at this year. Obviously, as a freshman goalie, a lot of people from freshman to sophomore year, you see a jump for sure once you're, familiar with everything. We talked a little bit about it before, but tell me a little bit about, maybe some of the teams you played, what you saw, and like where you think this team can go, and what you want out of this team.
Yeah, I think. I mean, our record didn't really show how good we were last year. We lost a lot of tight games. We had some leads, but I mean, I think that's because we had a lot of young guys on the fields. The CAA was really tough this year. Delaware, Towson, Hofstra were all really good teams. Definitely, it's like a blue collar lacrosse league. it's like very tough. It's very physical, a lot of up and down. It's fast. But I think that like this upcoming year, we kind of know what we have to do. We kind of, me, myself included, we kind of had, a year under our belt, at least my class, and we know what Coach Baxter expects. And I think that we're ready to kind of turn it up a notch once the fall comes and get after it a little bit.
So what's the expectation? What do you want? What's the goal?
Yeah, I think win every day, Coach Baxter. Again, it sounds corny, but like our coaches tell us, like, win every day, win every rep at practice. And the goal is to go win a conference championship and then take it from there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Love it. So, going back a little bit to, we were talking a little bit before, but, as a goalie in lacrosse, there's a lot of, you're taking a lot of hits. You're all this with, getting shit fired at you.
Yeah.
So, a lot of injuries possible, all that stuff. Tell me about how you, like, take care of yourself with training and, all that type of stuff, like medical staff at Fairfield. Like, tell me a little bit about the stuff that you do to, keep yourself in good shape and, like, stuff like that.
Yeah, it's like, so we got a pretty sweet weight room, just, like, going back to that. And that's, like, I'm always in, like, decent shape to, like, go play a game and stuff. So, like, I'm never, like, tired or anything on the field. But, like you said, like, these kids, like, stepped it up a little bit, like, in college. And these kids are shooting, like, 90 to 100 miles an hour, like, consistently.
That's what I'm saying. That's kind of, like, obviously, like, you're used to it, but that's kind of scary.
Yeah, it's just like if you make it scary, it is scary. Does that make sense? Like, if you're like, oh, he's gonna shoot 100 miles an hour, then, like, you're probably gonna get nailed with the ball. But if you're just like, oh, it's a third grader shooting on me, like, I'm gonna make this safe. It's all a mindset.
Right.
So, like, and, like,
right. Okay.
Yeah, like, I got nailed a couple times. Like, my thumbs, like, I got, like, a bunch of bruises on my thumbs. I had one game where this kid shot it on me, and I, like, kind of jumped up, and he, like, nailed me in the stomach, and I, like, didn't really think anything about it, and I woke up the next morning, and I had, like, a bruise, like, on my stomach, like, probably the size of a fist.
Dude, lacrosse balls are so painful. Like, you obviously can't have padding everywhere. Do you ever just get, like, absolutely just, like, blasted in the wrong spot? Just, like,
yeah, but
the
like
shin or, like, something, like, badly gets under the pad or something? Like,
Yeah.
I feel like that's so bad. I've always thought about that. I was like, I could never do that.
it's like, it's more like adrenaline, like, you don't really feel it when you're playing, but yeah,
Okay.
I've definitely gotten hit a couple times, but
Okay. I feel like it'd be so easy to break a bone that way.
but it's also kind of part of the job. Like, I chose
Right.
to play goalie, so
Of course.
it's like,
Do a lot of people break bones, like, from that? Is that, like, a normal,
like,
like,
a broken thumb once in a blue moon, but, like, other than
so
that,
people don't just,
not
like,
really.
break ribs, like...
Some kids, like, on the field, some kids will break ribs, but it's like football, right? Like, they get hit.
Yeah, but a
and-
goalie, you're getting the ball fired at you, so the padding's good, like, always, never...
Yeah, I
break
wear a
rib, like-
helmet with a throat guard and then a chest protector, a big cup you, like, strap around. It's kind of like a hockey goalie cup.
Okay.
And then that's it. Cleats and
What about the legs?
nothing on the legs.
So what if you get fired at the shin?
Like, if you play the right way, you really shouldn't be getting hit, like, on the shin.
Okay,
too
that's
much.
fair. Okay, that's fair. I don't know how to play lacrosse.
Yeah, it's
I've
all,
never
like,
played.
technique, but yeah, you're definitely gonna get hit. Like, stuff happens so fast, you're gonna get
Of
hit
course,
once in a blue
for
moon.
sure. So, kind of the last question we like to
Yeah.
ask a lot of people here is, you got to give one piece of advice to a younger guy, in high school who wants to pursue Division I lacrosse. What was one thing that you wish maybe someone told you, or something that you'd give to a younger guy, piece of advice?
I don't think, like, a lot of stuff is, like, pretty common what people say. It's like, a lot of people say the same things. I think school's really, really important. I know I don't mean to be the Debbie Downer, but, like, some of these coaches won't even look at you if you don't have, like, above a certain GPA or your ACTs or SATs. But I think just, like, if you dream big, like, and work hard, like, stuff's gonna fall into place. And I think, never doubt yourself and just have confidence, because, like, if you don't have confidence, like, there's gonna be a kid next to you that does, and he's just gonna take your spot. And it's like college lacrosse recruiting's slowly turning into, like, a dogfight. Like, there's only 70 something D1 teams, and, like, there's 10 to 12 spots on each team, and it's whoever's the best is the best. So just definitely just keep working hard, and good things will come. I think that's it.
That's a good answer. I like
Yeah.
that. Kind of, you talked a little bit about how the lacrosse recruiting has turned into a dogfight. Just
Yeah.
real quick to touch on that. I feel like it's a newer thing. Like, even when we were in high school, it's like you see kids committing to these big schools, like freshman year of high
Yeah.
school. Like it gets younger and younger. I feel like tell me, like, why is that?
Well, so yes.
Like, how do you
kids-
know a kid's gonna be that good when he's 15 years old? You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, you don't, but, like, the kid in my grade committed to Penn State when he was in 8th grade.
That's nuts.
So they put like he didn't even step on a high school classroom, and he was going to college. He already knew where he was going to college. But a couple years ago, right before I was my sophomore year, they changed it to a coach can't offer you or talk to you until September 1st of your junior year.
Oh.
So that fall. So I couldn't get talked to by coaches until September 1st of my junior year, which kind of helps the cause of, early recruitment. And
Right.
it's smart. It's probably around the right age where people kind of start to be able to, like,
That's such a big decision to make.
you're not
for
mature
yourse-
enough
to
in
make
8th
for
grade
yourself.
to go make
Yeah.
that decision, 100%. But I think it's definitely helped big time. But once September 1st hits, it's slowly starting to turn like a dogfight. Like, everyone's like going for the best, going for who they want in such a short amount of time. So it's like, you got to be ready for it, but you got to just keep making like good decisions, and you got to know what you want in the school. And
Right.
Yeah.
So like, are people September 1st? Then are people committing by September 2nd?
Some kids, yeah.
Wow.
Some kids.
That's
Like,
crazy.
some kids, I'm pretty sure. I think
Right.
like there was one or
That's
two
nuts.
kids in my grade that did, but like, again, like, you want to go see the school, you want to talk to coaches
Yeah.
and stuff.
Hell
so,
yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Recruiting gets crazy. I always like find that shit crazy.
Yeah, I mean, like,
How crazy
basketball and
it is.
football recruiting are like different, but at the same time similar. It's all
Right. Right. Last thing I kind of want to ask, because I like to ask a lot of the college athletes
Yeah.
this question. Obviously, you can now like market yourself with the any NCAA athlete can. Is there anything like personally that you like would like to do, like maybe run a camp yourself or something
Yeah.
like that? Like, is there any like thing that you maybe want to do with that or?
I don't think it's anything like specific I want to do with it. I think I think it's a cool idea. I think it's awesome that you can make money off of yourself as an athlete. I know I have like Rowback, like, the clothing brand. Like, I like reached out to them, and like they like gave me a code and said you can use this and get free stuff off of it. But like, it's other,
Dude,
I mean, take what you can get. Right?
Exactly, dude. That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Like, if you can do that, if you can use your thing to like get free shit
Yeah,
or like
100%.
run a camp and like make a few $100 or something
Yeah.
like that, why not?
Yeah,
Right.
I think it's,
That's why I feel like it's worth asking
Yeah, I
for
think
sure.
it's-
No matter who you are,
100%. I think it's the type of thing where people will slowly start to, like, once more, like, people kind of figure out what they can and can't do. They'll definitely in the next couple of years they'll pick up. I mean, I saw some kids, like some basketball kids, sign like a multi-million-dollar contract with like a technology company. Like, these people want, if you have like a big following on like social media, like, they want your name and their brand out there, which is,
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah, no doubt. There's some like kids from like Alabama football who are making like millions of
I know.
dollars already. It's insane.
It's wild. It's wild.
But anyways, Colin, it's been a pleasure having you on. Really appreciate the time. Really appreciate getting to catch up with you. So thank you so much for coming on,
No
man.
problem, guys. Thank
pleasure.
you for having me. I appreciate it.
Of course, Colin Consoli, everyone.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to check out the rest of our channel and subscribe. Make sure to follow our Instagram and maybe consider subscribing on Patreon for our bonus content. You can only find it there. I promise it will be well worth it. Thanks.